He appeared as a character witness for Harry and Meghan in their 6-part show. This throws all sorts of issues, legal issues as well, commenting on it because it might develop over the next couple of weeks and days. But what is the importance of a royal godfather, Hugo?
As it once was. And as I've observed Meghan over time, I think sometimes she becomes overbearing to people, especially to those who she thinks she can get something from, private jets, a house or whatever.
Tyler Perry, very well known in the US, a very world famous, well-respected TV producer and film producer. There have been some sexual assault claims made by him. It's a chap called Derek Dixon, and it's a $260 million lawsuit.
It was supposed to be untouchable, a modern-day castle built not of stone, but of image. The Montecito mansion gifted to Harry and Meghan by Hollywood titan Tyler Perry wasn't just a place to sleep. It was a fortress, a glittering fortress made of reputation, reinvention, and media power. But today, the gates have been thrown open, the house is up for sale, and the illusion of control is in ruin.
But the parents have been, in a sense, a godparent. One of the great things, of course, the real mission of a godparent is to make sure that they're sort of brought up in a Christian way and then sort of confirmed at a certain age, that we know. But also godparents can be very useful in sort of mediating between parents.
He revealed this on the Netflix show. He appeared as a character witness for Harry and Meghan in their 6-part show.
Tyler Perry, once their loudest silent ally, has listed the estate. No press release, no final farewell, just a cold, calculated move that says more than any public statement ever could. And make no mistake, this isn't about real estate. This is about reputation. Because when your godfather starts backing away, what does that say to the world?
They're usually chosen as really good family friends, not as sort of celebrities and sort of figures like this. But it doesn't really mean anything particularly. I know if the Queen, Elizabeth II, was a godparent.
Sorts of issues, legal issues as well, commenting on it because it might develop over the next couple of...
Tyler Perry didn't need to say a word. The listing did it for him. The Montecito estate that once served as a sanctuary, a literal and symbolic fortress for Harry and Meghan's American chapter, is now up for grabs. The same estate that housed them during their royal escape. The same one that cradled their docuseries shoot, that stood behind Meghan's carefully curated Zoom calls, that was sprinkled across Netflix episodes as if it were the Buckingham Palace of California, gone.
And his connection to the Sussexes coming down the line?
Well, yeah, there's nothing very Christian about a sexual assault claim. And I think that it's just one other damaging thing to add to their now war chest of things that have been a problem for them. And, they loved using Tyler Perry's research.
Meghan, who had gladly stolen the spotlight from Tyler on the red carpet.
And what makes it worse is Perry's silence. This is a man known for loyalty, discretion. He's fiercely private. But when a man like Perry steps away quietly, it isn't passive. It's a warning shot. This isn't just a sale. It's a severance. One made in marble and tile and luxury listing photos.
Loved using his plane for the freedom flight that they speak about. I'm sure that victim didn't have much freedom in his situation. We'll find out. Obviously, it's all accusations at the moment. But I just think that it shows the type of people that Meghan likes to surround herself with. And I think it is damaging to their brand yet again. Because
reasons for that.
Do you see problems with Tyler Perry and his connection to the Sussexes coming down the line?
Insiders say Harry and Meghan didn't see it coming, but those same insiders are whispering something darker, that Perry had been trying to distance himself for months. And now, under the weight of financial stress, legal pressure, and reputation rot, he's done pretending. The timing couldn't be more toxic. Tyler Perry is currently facing a staggering $260 million lawsuit from Derek Dixon, alleging years of misconduct. The allegations are shocking, and Perry, while maintaining silence, is legally exposed.
Real family and on this whole champion trip abroad. So I just think that it's really, really not a good look for them. And let's see what'll come out of this.
I think if accusations of this kind in court, this kind of legal writ had been made against Prince George's godfather or Prince William's godfather,
can you imagine?
It would be a huge story.
To not even worry about whatever contacts or bridges he may be burning, just shows that he's in tune with what the public thinks, and that's his first priority, as opposed to keeping friends in high places happy.
Now, layer that scandal on top of Meghan and Harry's already precarious PR position. They didn't just know Perry, they leaned on him. He wasn't just a friend, he was Lilibet's godfather, their emergency housing provider, their lifeline. And now, that lifeline is fraying. The couple's most powerful Hollywood protector is facing scrutiny.
Days when the Evening Standard used to have a placard outside, it would always say something like Queen's cousin in grave trouble. I mean, you bought it and then you never heard of the cousin, had you? They like to make an association with the person. That's how they do the link, isn't it?
Well, that's totally right. I mean, I'm not specifically associating or the lawsuits and
impact what you can see. But I found it really interesting to watch sort of her interaction with Tyler Perry on the red carpet, because he seemed, I wouldn't say...
And here's the kicker. No official response from Meghan and Harry. Nothing. Not even a vague, "we support victims" statement. Just eerie silence again. Which makes people wonder, how much did they know? And more importantly, how long can they keep dodging the fallout?
Harry and Meghan went to his 55th birthday in September, which kind of doubled up as Harry's birthday last September after Harry's 40th. They live close in Montecito. And they're very close to the Sussexes, so we'll have to see how it pans out.
Watch how quickly they drop him, seriously. I mean, just watch how quickly they go, oh, sorry, toxic brand, gonna step away from you.
And the royal family have had a history of problems, you remember, with King Charles
There's
in the past.
There's a long history of it with Charles, and William doesn't want to get tainted like that. So as you say, he's acted immediately to cut himself off from someone. Cash for access is the worst.
Let's rewind. When Meghan and Harry stepped down from royal duties, they told the world they were seeking independence. But independence doesn't mean invisibility. It means self-sufficiency. It means earning. And according to multiple reports, they're failing. Spotify dropped Meghan's podcast. Netflix is reportedly furious with delays, lack of engagement, and creative confusion. Meghan's lifestyle brand with Love is floundering before it even launched. And now, we find out they couldn't even secure the Montecito estate.
I just think it's going to be another person who's just thrown to the side. Them.
We'll watch this space. Let's just dwell a little bit on Lilibet and Archie. We saw a little bit more in a video posted on Meghan's Instagram page.
Well, I'm getting fed up with seeing the back of their heads and hearts stuck over their faces.
I think that it's just one other damaging thing to add to their now war chest of things that have been a problem for them. And, they love using Tyler Perry's resources. They loved using his...
Insiders revealed they attempted to raise funds privately to buy the property. Quiet calls were made, discreet meetings held, but nothing worked. Not even with their fame, not even with their titles. It begs the question, where did the millions go? From book deals to docuseries to public speaking fees, the money flowed, but now it's gone.
You can see what she's up to. I just think there's going to be a terrible revenge when those children grow up. I mean, I don't know about you, but I would be very annoyed if I found that I'd been used in all these posts in a strange way by my parents. And equally, they're also going to grow up at one point and discover that they never knew their grandparents.
He is asked about Harry and Meghan, and he had this very kind of biting response to the Times journalist. And I think he was probably an interaction that he should have done a bit better in terms of PR, but...
Is it bad budgeting, legal bills, lavish spending, or was the empire never real to begin with? Make no mistake, this house wasn't just bricks and decor. It was the centerpiece of their American fairy tale. You saw it in the docuseries, in Zoom backgrounds, in stylized portraits. Every palm tree and velvet cushion screamed, "We made it."
Of course, he's a broken man, but he's a rather sweet man, actually, and he did a lot for that girl when she was growing up. Don't you think?
I spoke to him a couple days ago, actually, and he's just absolutely still distraught about the fact that he still doesn't have contact with Meghan.
And then, of course, they will also wake up to realize that they could have been, the cousin to Prince George, the future king. And
associating with Harry and Meghan tends to bring negative attention, negative impacts on you because you're associated with them, and they
The Sussexes used the estate to stage their brand. They walked its halls with Netflix crews in tow. They spoke their truths from its gardens. Meghan's lifestyle aspirations, all quietly underpinned by this one stunning property. Without it, the illusion cracks. Now, with buyers circling and cameras pulling back, the mansion is exposed for what it truly was. Borrowed. And losing it isn't just about real estate. It's about losing the set piece that made their American dream look believable.
The only hope in that direction, if I'm sort of, being serious and sort of less aggressive about it, is I think Princess Eugenie could do quite a lot, because she's obviously the one who's close to Prince Harry, and if all that, do you remember all that Portugal business? They were going to buy a house and things, and if those children met Eugenie's children.
Negative public reputation, and whether or not you're attached to that, once you're with them, that negative attention.
They sold a new kind of royalty. Modern, glamorous, powerful. But royalty doesn't rent its crown. Meghan's With Love line was supposed to be her comeback, her Martha Stewart meets Goop crossover moment. A lifestyle empire built on taste, elegance, and Instagram-perfect living. But how do you sell lifestyle without a lifestyle to show?
I could just see a horrible revenge coming from those children.
Interesting. Well, look, at the Platinum Jubilee several years ago, I took a wrong turn after one of the events, and I walked into an area I wasn't meant to be. And Peter Phillips' children, Mike and Zara's children, were all playing around, jumping on each other, jumping on Mike's back, jumping on Peter Phillips' back, and it was actually
tends to follow you. And it seemed to me as well that Tyler Perry did not understand that the Times of London was not a tabloid. It's actually a very respectable publication, sort of like.
The Montecito mansion was the silent co-star in every pitch. It gave her image credibility. It sold serenity, power, California prestige. Now it's gone. Investors are pulling back. Legal filings are rumored. Content shoots canceled. Meghan's branding without the house feels hollow, like a perfume with no scent.
Archie could hang around with all their cousins. But...
And I mean, I've said it before, but the Queen always had somebody with her when the Sussexes came to see her to stop them taking photographs and, exploiting the situation.
I mean, it's pretty interesting, this new Instagram PR strategy, though. I must say, I know we talk about the backs of the children's heads. I think it is damaging to their brand yet again, because he was meant to be their closest friend. And as you said, someone who's, stood up for them while they were leaving the royal family and on this whole champ.
And behind the scenes, staff turnover, creative confusion, and nervous whispers. Her entire brand was built on the illusion of stability. Now, even her backgrounds are missing. Hollywood watches, Hollywood judges, and when one of its own, like Tyler Perry, begins to drift away, it sends a chilling signal. Perry was their champion. If he's pulling out, what does that mean for others?
Demanding. Obviously, he lent them his home. In some instances, it might have been a security team. He lent them his jet. And so he's lent them a lot of things. And you got to wonder sometimes that they start to ask.
Netflix execs are already on edge. Meghan's podcast flop left a stain. Their docuseries, Well Buzzy, didn't convert into long-term audience loyalty. Their film pitches stalled. Rumors of projects quietly shelved are swirling through industry circles. One producer even described working with Meghan as like setting up a circus and realizing there's no act. That's brutal, and that's real. And with the Montecito mansion gone, the whisper is becoming consensus. The Sussexes were a high-risk PR project. Now, they're just high risk.
Billionaire friend Tyler Perry gives frosty answer when asked about lending the Duchess of Sussex's LA home.
Even Montecito neighbors are losing patience. What was once royal glitz has become neighborhood gossip. Real estate agents now refer to Perry's home as the Sussex situation, which says it all. Harry and Meghan used to release statements for everything, every little drama, every royal rumor, every tabloid jab. But now, with their home being sold out from under them, they've said nothing. No tweet, no press release, no Oprah-style sit-down to clear the air. Nothing. And that silence speaks volume, because this is the moment their empire is truly being tested. This isn't a family squabble. This is reputation collapse. And yet, they're nowhere. For a couple who built a media machine around truth-telling and authenticity, their silence now feels like surrender. Or worse, exposure. Because you can't spin your way out of losing the house you sold as your forever home. You can't brand your way through financial failure. And when the man who once protected you is now unloading the very stage where your story began, you're not in control anymore. Let's be honest. The cracks have been showing for a while. The Montecito house was the last major symbol holding the image together. With it gone, so goes the illusion. This isn't just the sale of a property, it's the symbolic foreclosure of the Sussex dream. The American experiment is failing, not with a bang, but with a real estate listing. And the people watching, from palace aides to Netflix producers to everyday Americans, are starting to ask the same question. What was real? Because the speeches were polished, the Zoom calls were immaculate, the docuseries was dramatic, but the money's gone, the mansion's gone, and now, maybe even the audience is gone too. They burned their bridges with Buckingham Palace, but forgot that Hollywood builds bridges of glass, and once it cracks, everyone sees through it.